So some of you might look upon something like this and say, okay, this guy just has taken N+1 mentality way too far. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 motorcycles in here right now, and only 2 of them are loaner bikes. So I own 14 of these motorcycles. So clearly I'm just some bike addicted crazy person, right? Well, actually today I want to explain why I own so many motorcycles, why I give away motorcycles, how I give them away, and just give you a little bit of insight to some of the back scenes here at Yami Noob. Let's get into it. So let me tell you how this whole thing started. Back in 2018, in about October of that year, I decided to jump into the bike build thing. I had no idea what I was doing. I had about $4,000 that I wanted to spend on a project bike. And the big difference I wanted to do with it as compared to all the other builds I saw online is I wanted to be 100% community powered. I really wanted to get closer to my audience and understand what they wanted me to do and to just get a little bit closer to the community. So the big thing about it was we all polled everything and figured out what bike we were gonna buy on Craigslist and started doing it and all of that. So that was back in October of 2018. I'm recording this in October of 2020. So that was almost 2 years ago at this point. And the very first bike we did was the lovable Hentai Hornet. This was a CB900F that I picked up off Craigslist. I was way in over my head. I tried to build it and fix it and repair it. Eventually I got it to work. I took it to a shop and did a bunch of stuff to it, and we ended up making it work. But after that, we gave away a lot more bikes and started doing newer bikes and better bikes. So the bike after that I gave away was an FZ07. After that it was an RC390. After that we did 2 bikes at the same time, which was a big deal. It was an R3 and an SV650. We did a CB650R, a DRZ 400, and a Ninja 400. Then later we did a Duke 390, an XSR 700, and a Street Triple. I then bought the Yamaha R1 as the expert bike giveaway. Then I got the MT-03, the SV650X, the Sparpolin 401, and 2 Honda Groms. We then got the Harley 883 as part of our Modern Classic giveaway. And just recently I picked up a CBR 500R, a Triumph Street Scrambler, and a Z650. To this day, I've given away 17 motorcycles to 17 different people, which is something that I literally never thought I'd be able to say. So most of these bikes here are giveaway bikes. I don't actually own them for myself. That would be kind of silly. 2 of them are loaner bikes from Eurocycle, so I hope that kind of answers your question there. But I think the real question that people want to know is, wait, how the hell do you afford to give away all these bikes? Do you get them for free? Do you go and steal them? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's head over to the whiteboard and I will explain how Yami Noob works. All right, guys, it's whiteboard time. We're gonna explain how this whole rigmarole works. So the first thing you gotta know is that Yami Noob, which you guys might think is me, is actually structured as a company. I own an LLC, it's a limited liability corporation that operates Yami Noob. I'm the owner of that company and I employ about 5 people to help me. Those people include Spite, Andrew, our editor, Josh, our new camera guy and Instagram and marketing guru of sorts, Sandrine, who is our customer support and admin person, and then Sagar, who is my web developer. So all 5 of these people here are employed by this company that I own. So that's the way it's structured. The business makes its money in a couple different ways. We have YouTube AdSense revenue, which is about this big. Then we have membership on our website. We'll say yn.co. And we have about 3,100 paying monthly members right now. So that money kind of looks like that. And then we have our sponsors like Manscaped and Ridge Wallets and all those guys. So we'll write here sponsors. And that represents about that much, let's say. And then we have everything else. We have merchandise, affiliate deals, a couple other things here and there. We'll say, etc. And that's about that big. Putting it all together, you have something that's about, let's say, that big. Now, buying the giveaway bikes, which if you guys don't believe me, I literally have so many titles to give away bikes right here. They're literally falling out of my hands. Buying those bikes represents about that much in terms of cost of what actually the business makes. So we are profitable, which is great, which means that we can do a lot of cool stuff and make content. So that's kind of how it works on the end of how I can purchase the motorcycles. All this stuff added up gives me enough income to be able to buy the bikes and give them away. But you might ask yourself, well, why buy these bikes in the first place? What's the deal behind that? Glad you asked. For people who have YouTube channels, it can be a little more difficult to get insider connections to go to cool events, to be able to get press bikes, to do all that kinds of stuff. And while I do have some connections, I got a guy over at Triumph who doesn't work there anymore. I had a guy over at Yamaha who's giving me a loaner MT-03. Those kinds of things are more difficult when you have an independent media company like I do. So what I do instead is I buy the motorcycles, right? If I can buy the bikes, it means that I'm not beholden to anyone's timetable, schedules, or perhaps things they want me to say about the motorcycles, and we can just make content about them as we see fit. Now, the bikes that I purchase have always been beginner-oriented bikes. We started dabbling into expert and modern classic and intermediate motorcycles just because we want to test and see what people are interested in. But for the most part, we get beginner bikes because they're the ones that get the most views and they're the ones that most people are interested in. So this allows us to make great content. By making great content, we get more views, we get higher paying sponsors, YouTube pays us more, and more people join on the website to support what we do. So great content makes it so that more and more things happen for us. The more opportunities that happen and the more cool stuff that happens, the more incentive I have to turn around and buy more motorcycles. And so the whole thing kind of turns into a feedback effect where the more bikes I buy, the better content I make, and the more opportunities that happen, and the whole thing kind of starts feeding into itself. So then you might ask, well, why don't you just buy the bikes and then sell them instead of buying them and then giving them away? Well, I think it's cooler to set it up as a giveaway rather than to just profit and sell the bikes myself. I think it's cooler to give people the opportunity to win something and have a bit of a fun chance-based thing on the internet rather than just purchasing motorcycles and then selling them myself. So that's kind of what I do it there. But the best part about all of this is the community, and that kind of happened by accident. Back when I launched the Patreon, not the website, but the actual Patreon that we started all of this on in 2018, there was something called a Discord server that was an added bonus to the Patreon. Now, truth be told, I literally didn't even know what a Discord server was whenever I launched my Patreon. I was like, okay, I think it's like a chat room or something because I'd never used it before. But slowly, this became literally the most important thing about the entire website, about the giveaway, about everything else, because it happened to be a real-time way to communicate with my audience. Discord became a place where Yami Noob started to exist outside of just YouTube, outside of just Instagram. It was a real-time way to interact with fans and to cross-pollinate ideas and to just goof around and have fun, and it really became one of my favorite things I've ever done for the channel. Seriously, beyond just buying a bunch of cool bikes, beyond going to cool places, having the Discord and having a community around everything that we do seriously was one of the coolest things that happened. Earlier this year, I started making a really big push to invest back in the community, doing really cool contests with everybody, doing live streams every week, making a concerted effort to make sure that people who are paying to support everything that we do here, we're getting something out of value for it, right? Not just a cool place to interact with other motorcyclists, but truly exclusive looks, behind the scenes content, and really just everything that I could give them on the Discord server. So it was just the coolest thing that happened. So wrapping this up, I hope you guys realize that I'm not some random rich dude who just owns a bunch of motorcycles. I'm also not some like trust fund kid who just has unlimited access to money and just buying a bunch of cool bikes. Really, the reason I'm doing all this is because of you guys on the website, you guys watching this video, you guys supporting everything that we do, buying my merch, doing all kinds of cool stuff. I take a lot of what I make here and reinvest it back into the channel so that we keep making better and better content. I really hope that in these past couple of months, you've seen the upgrades we've been doing, the better lighting, the better cameras, the commitment to making quality content every single day, trying to make more interesting things all the time, always trying to make things that are helpful to people. I think that's a big push for me, is to have the sense of responsibility to make content for people who are getting into motorcycles, that they can feel accepted and have it feel fun, and that they are watching something that makes it easier for them to take that step, take their MSF, take their rider course, wherever they may be, and get started on two wheels, because that is the mission of Yami Noob. I just want to see more people on two wheels. Thanks for watching. Oh, that's right, I owe you guys a fact, I think, because it's been a while since a fact has dropped on the end of the video. Fact: crocodiles are one of the few reptiles who have 4 chambered hearts. Goodbye. Wow, look how pretty this is. You know what else is pretty? My beautiful face and this next Yami Noob video. Click it right over here and check it out for yourself. There's fun memes in it, maybe Hayabusas, maybe some cool stuff. There's only one way to find out. Click that video. Do it now.